designing content, and then evaluation and improvement, a little bit of demo, and also conclusion. Okay, so please, you are invited to pose or ask any question during my talk. Okay, you don't need to wait until the end of the session to ask questions. Okay, so we're going to start with some introduction first. Okay, as we all know, iTa'LeEM is a model-based platform. That means a Moodle is an open source platform which we can customize to our own needs. Okay, and that is what we have as iTa'LeEM right now. And we also have another version of the mobile app version, which is the Moodle app version. So if your student is accessing your course through the web, through the browser, uh, they will use the web-based version. And if they use the Moodle app version, they will view it as in a mobile app version, like this one. Okay. So now I would like to start the session by having self-reflection on what are your concerns or what are your problems or issues, anything related with your iTa'LeEM content. Okay, please use the QR code to post your comment, or the link I will provide it in the chat. Okay, so let's say spend a few minutes on this. So you can get the Menti link from the chat or from the QR just now. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna view the Menti. Yeah. Okay. The rest you can put anything that you want to say. Then I will sort of analyze and filter out. Okay. Oh, okay. 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 So we have how many participants? 100 over. So I bet if you join this training, that means you want to learn something, right? I mean, there is something that you want to improve or enhance in your iTa'LeEM. So what are the issues or your concerns? Okay. Mm. Okay. So let's go through some of the feedback. Okay. So if you are still doing the responses, okay, so you still can do that so that we can be aware of your concerns. Okay. So let's have a look at a few of the um, feedback. Okay. So we say not many. I can see roughly many are saying that iTa'LeEM is not user friendly. Okay, so not user friendly. Okay, not friendly sometimes. Okay, that means sometimes friendly. Okay, so not user friendly. See, not user friendly, complicated at times. Okay, some say easy to use. So that's good. Okay, or not easy to use. Yeah, H5P always hang, not user friendly. Um, not user friendly. Say many are saying about okay boring. Okay, so how can you make it um not boring, okay, or interesting or engaging? Okay, both students and lecturers prefer other platforms. Okay, so that is also an issue because we have a policy in the university that iTa'LeEM is our main e-learning platform that we should use. Okay, so if you're not aware, if you're looking for or read under Moodle-based platform, actually there are billions of users that are using Moodle all over the world, and there are around 163,000 of sites of Moodle sites, Moodle-based sites all over the world. Okay, because this is an open source platform that we can use and customize and personalize it for our own needs. Okay, so um, that is something that we have to think about. Okay, but in terms of slow or system down, these are related to more on in terms of the performance and the network issues, which we may not have anything that we can do. Okay, but the rest, okay, we can try and have a look at what we can do to improve it. Okay. So for example, here it says that, okay, not really know how to utilize it. Okay, so I agree with this because actually I don't know about the rest of the participants here, but me myself, I've never seen any other colleagues iTa'LeEM. Okay, we never show to each other. Okay, unless we are invited as a speaker, right? So I never see my friends iTa'LeEM, but maybe by chance, because of something, then people want you to share something. Okay, like today's session. Okay, so this platform that we are having today, like this kind of training, I think it is to showcase what others can do with their iTa'LeEM. Not so much that I am an expert. Okay, I am not a Moodle certified like Prof. Mira. Okay, but I am a basic. I am a user like all of you here. Okay, so what we can do is uh, um, we can observe, and then we can think of what are the good features that we can adopt in our own iTa'LeEM, and then learn from that. Okay, so that is what we can do if we say how we cannot know how to utilize it. And in today's training as well, I'm going to talk about the features in iTa'LeEM. So I think it is important for us, if we want to utilize something, we need to know first what are the available features so that we can choose which one that we want to use and adopt. Okay. Okay, how to manage content efficiently. So this is also among the learning outcomes that we're gonna try to do today. Okay, and then okay, looks complex to me. Um, but I think as you use it, then you will feel much more comfortable rather than having the thought that it is complex and you don't move forward from there. So I think you have to start somewhere. Okay. In terms of I'm teaching science, I need equation. I've seen equations that are using LaTeX. Okay. So it is possible to embed LaTeX formulas in that. I don't know whether you are using LaTeX or not, okay, because in my PhD, I'm using LaTeX for my thesis. So I know that for all the calculations, the formulas, they will look nice using LaTeX, and you can also import LaTeX formula in your equations. Okay, but that one is something that you can explore. Okay. Okay, how to curate it to make students want to visit your iTa'LeEM page often. So this one is it depending on your content, okay, and then what are the activities that you provide in order for them to come and visit your iTa'LeEM. In terms of navigation, okay, we can talk about what are the things that you can do in order to make your content easier to be navigated. Okay. Mm, okay, complicated to create quiz. So this is a content related to assessment. Okay. So we use this a lot in our courses. Okay. So I think we need to like know which part that you think is complicated. Um, But the good thing about it is that once you have your question banks, okay, you can reuse those question banks, and you can even have it as ungraded exercises, or you can have separated as graded activities. So you can have like self-check questions after certain topics using the quiz. So it is depending on how you want to design it. Okay. To create lessons, I use lessons for all my topics. Okay, so I have 14 topics, 14 lessons. Don't know, been using Teams instead. Okay, yeah, but it's good to know that iTa'LeEM is the e-learning platform for the university, and according to the policy, it is compulsory for us to use it. Okay. Um, not possible to see which students have interacted with posts on iTa'LeEM. Okay, what kind of posts do you mean? Forums? Okay, so this is possible if you have the tracking progress, the progress tracking. So if you have any activities with that you design, then you can track. Okay, for example, we have participant mentioned here about lessons. If you have lessons, then you can track their progress. You can see how many times they attempted the lessons. Okay, but if you have like normal page, you don't have any interaction, you can only know the log. You can only know that they have accessed this page. Okay. Yeah, I think you just have to familiarize yourself with it. Yeah, this is very true. Okay, so you have to from time to time um, um, improve your content and use the learning any iTa'LeEM features that can be uh, that can help a lot. Okay, to reduce the complexity or to reduce the say not so user friendly thing. Okay. Okay, never use this platform. Okay, I'm happy to hear, although I am not from CPD or from university, I'm just normal lecturer like everyone here. Okay, so I always encourage people to use iTa'LeEM. Okay, so it's good to have this at least intention and then work from there. Okay, so I think we have got some idea. Okay, and I believe that if you are here, you may have some intention to improve what you can do with your iTa'LeEM, okay? And then hopefully you can learn something from today's session. Is there anything else that you would like to say? So you may unmute or say to your chat, okay? So if not, let's move on, okay? Um, Okay. So this is taken from a research paper. It says that what are the motivating factors for Moodle-based platforms? Okay. So first one is that it is cross-platform, so it's accessible through the browser and through the app. Okay. And also learners love the fact that they can get feedback from their instructors, and also the way the learning materials are organized. Okay, so these are some of the feedback, including the opportunity to have collaborative learning. Okay, that means they can collaborate with their peers in doing some assignment or task that you prepare. Or even they can also collaborate with the instructor to provide any content that you want. Okay, so uh, basically from the survey that we had just now, okay, um, what we actually want when we are thinking about the content. Okay, so I believe that these are among the things that we want. Okay, we want effective and engaging content so that our students keep on using our materials or referring to our materials. Okay, and when we have all the content, we want it to be accessible. Okay, accessible also means that they can get to the specific content that they want um, in a less hassle manner. Okay, or they are able to find. Okay, so have you ever gone to any website or any system that it's hard for you to find anything that you want? Okay, so that is the kind of um, system or website that is not um, accessible. Okay, useful content in the sense that you have to consider your respective audiences. Okay, with their level and their background, will that be useful for them? So what kind of content that is mostly suitable with this kind of um, um, materials that you want to prepare? Okay, so that is what we have to decide as the content expert. Okay, and also organize contents. We want our content to be structured. Okay, I don't know if anyone, oh, it's okay if it is not organized. Okay, because in the end it will be related to accessibility as well. If it is not organized, and how can you expect your audience or your users to be able to get the information that they want um, easily? Okay, and the last one is when we want to have collaborative activities, what kind of content that we can prepare? Okay, so these are among the things that we want. Okay, so let me just give an overview. Okay, because when we talk about model-based platform like iTa'LeEM, actually there are many perspectives of it. Okay, for example, just now assessment part on the quiz part. Okay, we're not going to talk about assessment part because we are going to focus more on the content part. Okay, so we are not going to talk about the rest of the other things, but we'll only be focusing on content. Okay, what we can do to make our content and then if as effective as possible, and then as useful as possible, and then display it as organized as possible. Okay, so that is our scope today. Okay, in explaining this, I'm gonna explain this whole process in three stages. Okay, the first one is in terms of planning. Okay, what we can do, and what is our plan in order to have this to achieve this effective content. What are we going to do? Okay. And then the second one is when it has been done, it's ready, then we're going to execute it. Okay. So when we execute this, it means that uh, that you are going to use the content that you prepared and then use it to your learners. Okay. So that is I'm going to touch this a bit only. Okay. And then we're going to move on to the third part, which is to get the feedback and further improve the content. So this is an iterative process that we do to enhance the content from time to time. Okay. But in order for us to get feedback, okay, we have to plan it from the beginning. Okay. For example, next semester, you want to get feedback. So it's not that after you have executed, then only you do the to get the feedback. So you have to plan earlier to know what kind of things that you're gonna ask to get feedback, because that will going to be fit into your planning. Okay, so that's my idea is to have this in 3 stages. Okay, so when we design, first we need to think about what are the things that you want to consider. Okay. So the first one is in terms of your target audience. Okay. So think about your own students. Okay. Um, what what are you going to um, observe about their maybe their learning styles, okay, their preferences. Maybe you don't know, but you can have a general observation at the early semester, or you already know because they are maybe final year students. So you have basically some rough idea of what is the level of background, whether they are IT literate or not. Okay, so you can basically have that observation. Okay. So, in knowing your learner's background, okay, as the idea is as much as possible, we want to have flexibility. Okay, so when you decide on the content, you want to have flexibility. So for students, maybe based on their needs or maybe based on their learning styles. Okay, so if they are visual learners, okay, they like to see images, infographics, or they like to watch videos, okay, or audios, or they like to do things like kinesthetic learners. Okay, so they can do like anything that is practical. They like to be um, to present things and to demonstrate things. Okay, so you can think about what will the content that is best suit this kind of multiple kind of learners. Okay, and do they prefer like chunks of information or longer modules or videos? So the idea is to think about, to consider these variations of learning styles. Okay. Um, so I have the following slides, so just to have an overall overview of what we can be thinking of or consider. Okay. And have and plan what kind of content or activities that we can do to suit these maybe variations of learning style. Okay, I know it is like impossible to provide all, okay, but maybe you can observe and consider. Okay, because when you say you have videos, you know that not all students will like videos. Okay, so what are other things that you can prepare so that it can be much more flexible? Okay, so the I didn't mention the other 2 points just now. Okay, and consider their level of prior knowledge. Okay, whether they are first year students, maybe they you have to put a lot more instructions to be clear with your instructions because they are not familiar yet with the platform or any instructions. Okay. Technical skills and access. Okay. Will they be using the browser or will they be using the mobile devices? Okay. So that have a check if it is going to be this use or access through the mobile devices. Will there be any thing that cannot be displayed or does not display properly in the mobile version? Okay, so let's move on to the second one. Okay, on the learning objectives. Okay, consider about what are the learning outcomes that you want them to achieve. Okay, so we have the learning outcomes for the course, and we also have learning outcomes for each topic. Okay, so you can clearly, explicitly state what will be achieved at the end of specific lesson, or you can break it down to smaller units like myself, I have the course and I call it lessons for each topic. So for each lesson, I will have each the learning outcome for each of the lesson. Yeah. And of course we need to align it with the learning outcomes. Okay. And also decide what will be the type of content that is mostly effective for this kind of specific learning unit. Okay, so as an expert in your own area, you can decide what is the best type of content. Okay, so and then the second one is whether it is um, feasible or doable with your own skill to prepare it. Okay. So the third one is okay. Now this is the main part. Okay, in terms of the content when we want to prepare the content. Okay, so some of the tips is that we use various content types. Okay, so this is also answering the question of maybe increasing the learner's engagement or the attention span, okay, by having multiple various types of content. Okay, okay. For example, instead of only use text, okay, you can embed some images or relevant videos. Okay, either your own videos or uh, an external or third-party videos, okay, or use infographics, or you can have interactive elements that they can interact with, okay. So that is to have different types of engagement, okay. So imagine if you like see a website, okay, and the website only has text, okay, from the beginning until the end. Okay, so how would you feel? Okay, as compared to there is a website that has combination of various content. Okay, so that is how you can observe. Okay, then think about the clarity, the structure for clarity. Okay, do you have proper structure? Okay, do you have headings? Do you have subheadings? Or do you have labels, okay, to structure your content? And do you have consistent visual design? Okay, that is also part of the structure. Okay, in terms of interactive elements, okay, this one, some part of it can be from assessment, some part of it can be through activities, okay, like you can have quizzes, you can have survey, you can have forums, okay, to have interactions, okay. And also think about if you have a module that is too long, Okay, how can you break it down into smaller chunks? Okay, and then if you break it down, how can you make sure that they go through all these materials? Because if you have one, you can make sure that they watch the material or do the material. But if you break it, then you have to also find out, do they watch all the content or they just watch the first one? So that is also another issue. So when we have this, we break it down into small bites, then it's another task to make sure that they have gone through the materials. Okay. So if this has been changed, please let me know. Okay. So for the blended learning rubric, okay, so these are the minimum requirement that we have to prepare for the e-learning content. Okay, at least we have to have one information or 7 content, and then 3 activities from any of this, and also 2 assessment from any of the available features. We're going to have a look at most of these features in the following slides. Okay, but this is the minimum requirement for us to have in our iTa'LeEM, and it is um, explicitly recorded, okay, in our iTa'LeEM, so that we can ensure that we have passed this requirement. Okay, so okay, so this is the summary of resources in iTa'LeEM. Maybe I miss out anything, but you can let me know. Okay, so now we are talking about the content. Okay, excuse me. So what are the type of resources that we can use? Okay, so when we want to decide which content that we're going to use, so it is important that we are aware of what are the features in iTa'LeEM, that so that we can map with our needs. Okay, so the first one is file. I believe most of us use it, right? Anyone have never used file? Can use the what is the option that we can use to vote? Okay, anyone have never used the file feature? I think most of us will use it, right? Okay, so we can upload our file using this feature. Okay, so that is the most simplest um, means to share a file. Then the second one is page. Okay, so anyone have not used a page before? Maybe you can mention in the chat, yes or no. Oh no, you have never used it. Okay. So a page is good when you want to reduce clutter. Okay, you have too many files or link, and then it looks a bit clutter. So you want to structure them. Okay, so you can use a file to a page. Sorry, a page to structure your content. Okay, so in a page you can embed any multimedia elements like images, animation, audio, video. So think of it like a web page. So that is basically what you can, anything you can do with a page. Okay. So next one is label. Okay. Anyone have never used label? Maybe you think that it's not that important. Okay, but sometimes I use label as well. Okay, so this is also uh to have some kind of headers or to categorize your materials. Okay, folder. Okay, you can also upload a group of files. Okay, and put it in the folder, or you can have a URL when you want to have an external link in maybe you have a Kahoot activity. So you can have a link to be shared here using URL. Okay, or you have another additional supporting materials that you want your learners to access. So you share the URL. Okay, and then you can also have a book. So this book is like a combination of multiple pages. Okay, it is compiled into a book. So that can also be a collaborative work that you allow your learners to collaborate to produce some content if you want. Okay? Or you can have your, let's say, any material that you want your students to know, you can compile them to become a book. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, so this IMS content page, so it is to make like a structure so that next time you can reuse it. Okay, but personally I've never used it. Okay, so these are all categorized under resources. So
Uh,
our task,
uh,
yes.
if I may ask, what the page you mentioned, is it something like the add topics, is it?
Um, yeah, it can be anything that you want to put in the page. Yeah, you can put it is like adding a page in a website. Okay,
Uh,
so it can be anything. Okay, so later we can show the differences. Okay,
okay.
so I think it is good to have page when you have multiple information that, and then you don't want them to be too cluttered. So you create a page because it can have a lot of content in it. Okay, so this is in terms of the resources. So think about the content that you want to prepare. Okay, what kind of content that you want to prepare, and then match with the resources. But if it is not here, maybe what you are looking for is in the next part, which is on the activities. Okay, like someone mentioned just now, page 5P. Okay, maybe you can have wiki or glossary or survey, feedback, choice, or you want to have chat, assignment, okay, quiz, forum, a lesson, workshop. Okay, so workshop is to get um, teamwork assessment or peer review assessment. Okay, chat is to have real time chat. Okay, forum is offline uh, chat, we can say. Okay, so you can have series of discussion in forums. Any of these activities that you want me to explain? Okay, if okay. Any thing that you would like to know? I think most of us have used assignment, quiz, um, forum, but I don't know about the rest. Okay, I saw someone say H5P just now. Okay, but the rest, I'm not sure whether you have used it or not. Okay, all right, let's move on. Okay, so I found a good material that compares these features, okay, to help us to decide which content that we want to use. Okay, so this comparison is based on these six criteria. Okay, the first one is the ease of use. How easy is feature to be set up by you? Okay, because most of us complain just now and not so user friendly, okay, or maybe complex to use. Okay, so we can look at this feature Okay, how easy it is to use. Okay. The second one is in terms of information transfer. Can you transfer the information to your student using this feature? Okay. The third one is, can you assess your students' learning using this feature? And the fourth one is communication and interaction. Can it be used for communication? Okay. The fifth one is, can you use it for co-creating content, like collaborative content? Okay. And the sixth one is, which level of Bloom taxonomy of cognitive thinking that it can cover? Okay. So these are the comparison features. Okay. So I have it in an Excel file, a Google Sheet file, but I extract it so that it won't disturb the view. Okay, so later you can get the link from here. Okay, so these are the features. Okay, you can see that all the 6 criteria just now. So if you're looking for something that is easy for you to use, so you can refer to the easy, because I've simplified the original source so that it will be easier for us to digest. Okay. So for example, if you say add file, add folder, add page, add book, add URL, so these are all considered as easy. Okay. So glossary is also easy, survey is also easy. Okay, but to use wiki, to use database, to get feedback is quite easy, but you need to configure a bit. Okay. So this is in terms of ease of use. So in terms of information transfer, okay, you can look at all the resources are suitable to be used as an information transfer. But for um, the activities, mainly they are not for information transfer, but more on maybe participation or to assess learning. Okay, like add file, folder, page, they may be used to assess learning, but that's not the main purpose. Okay, you can always customize it to be assessed, but it is not the purpose. Okay, so that's why it says maybe. Okay, but for others, it can be used to assess learning. Okay, but for survey, for example, it's not relevant to assess learning. So in terms of communication, okay, I see that it is possible to use page, at book, or URL here, possible to be used as communication feature, but it is not meant to be, okay, because they have other features that can be used for communication. Okay, so this is the first table from feature 1 to feature 10. So if you're thinking about collaboration, you want to have collaborative activities, okay? So you can try this wiki, glossary, or database for the first 10 features, okay? Or if you are thinking to do any activities with regards to certain levels of taxonomy, so you can use the highlighted ones. Okay. So some can only be used for certain level, okay, based on the study. Okay. So this is the first part. Okay, the second part of the table is, you see that okay, now the quiz, someone mentioned just now, quiz is not easy. Okay, so it is considered as complex, okay, depending also on what kind of um quiz items that you prepare. Okay, it can be, I think it can be ranging from simple to complex. Okay, for depending on the quiz items. So lesson, okay, and then workshop, SCORM. Okay, so these are complex. You can start off with the easy part first. Okay, and then say for assess learning, you see from choice to SCORM, those are all relevant to be used for assessment, and not relevant for communication, and not relevant for collaborative features. Okay, so that is um, and the second table, and the third table is for chat, forum, H5P, F5, and H5P, and also for board. Okay, so this may be the third party libraries that iTa'LeEM has. Okay, this one works like the Padlet. Okay, so we can have boards. Okay, it can be possible to assess learning. Okay, it can be used as information transfer, can be used as communication platform, and can be used as collaborative features, and also can be used to evaluate all the taxonomy level, Bloom's taxonomy levels. Okay, any question on this? Okay, so as I said, when we want to decide, it is good to be aware of all the features available so that you can make decisions based on which iTa'LeEM features that can best suit whatever you want to do. Okay, so if you're looking for assessment, okay, so you look for all the any assessment features that are relevant to what you want to do, and then work from there. Okay, so I just pick two uh, two types. Okay, here the first in terms of video content. Okay, when we want to prepare video content, okay, um, these are some things that we can consider, okay, because it is said that video content can be much more interesting rather than text, okay, and having videos, users, your learners can repeatedly watch the material if they want, okay, and they can access it from mobile devices or from their own tablets or their laptop. Okay, and it is often more memorable than text. Okay, and also images as well can also be increase the attention, okay, rather than as compared to text. Okay, and these are some of the advantages of having video content. Okay, and okay, this is the summary of what we have seen just now. Okay, so think about your own material. Okay, so if I mean, some would say I don't have time to prepare the videos, or some may say it's taking too much time to prepare videos. Okay, or some may say they cannot they cannot prepare videos that is decent or that is of good quality. Okay, I think we have to start somewhere. Okay, it's better to start off with something rather than nothing. Okay, then we improve from there. So if we want to wait until we have all the skills and all the equipment ready, by that time, okay, it might be too late. Okay, so it's better to start off something, and then we improve it from time to time. Okay, so that is my own personal view. Okay, all right. Now, okay. So some of the tips. Okay, so in the content creator certification, we were also being trained to have small chunks of videos. So it is advisable to have short videos rather than to have long videos. Okay, but everyone have their own constraints, right? So as I said just now, we prepare with our own capacity and our own skill. Okay, so when you have time and you want to enhance or improve, then you can further improve it, but at least you are aware of what is the ideal recommended guide for preparing the video content. Okay, So studies have shown that students tend to lose interest or become distracted during longer video sessions. Yeah, this is true. So one of the ways is to have questions on your videos. Like when you have H5P videos, you can add question on it. But I found it uh, quite tedious to prepare the H5P videos. Okay. Uh, but anyone who have tried it, maybe you can share your own experience. Did you how do you find it preparing the questions on the videos? The easiest way will be through at puzzle, okay? Because at puzzle you can have questions on the video, and it the effort is less hassle as compared to H5P. So that is my own preference. Okay. But having H5P elements in embedded in your iTa'LeEM, you can view uh, their progress. So that is in the iTa'LeEM, in iTa'LeEM. If we have videos in at puzzle, so we have to view their track of progress in at puzzle because that's an external party. Okay. So and and as expected, when I get feedback from students, many of them say that they appreciate these questions. They appreciate this question in the videos because they keep on losing their focus, and when they have questions, then they will pick up back if they have missed out anything important in the videos. Okay. Add any additional materials to your course. Okay, of course you have if you have videos, you will have the slides or additional references to the materials. Okay, so you have already the video, now you embed it with file with your slides. Okay, so you have now an integration of two types of materials already. Okay, and from time to time get feedback, okay, from your students. So in order, as I said just now, in order for you to get feedback, you have to plan, okay, what are the things that you want to know from the students so that you can improve your materials from time to time. Okay, so next one is a board. Actually, I think this is a new feature. Okay, so because even previously I was looking for an alternative to Padlet because I've using a lot of Padlets before this. Okay, and if you are using the free version of the Padlet, you know that it has limitations, so you cannot exceed certain numbers of Padlets. So when I see this feature in iTa'LeEM, then I directly use it for the course. Okay, so if you use this board, okay, so it works exactly like Padlet, okay, but maybe a few um but missing a few features that you cannot customize. Okay, so there are you can in this board I use it for final presentation submission, online video presentation, and I divided the columns based on sections. So students from section 1 will post to this column. So student section 2 will post to this column, and student section 3 will post to the next column. Okay. The idea is also uh, to make it available for other students to see other students' work as well, not only their own work, but also they can view other groups' work to see what are the good things of the other groups, and then they can use it as a motivation to improve their own work, for example. So that is how you can use the board to um, have um, um, the information sharing, the collaboration features, and also to motivate students. Okay, right. So the last part, okay, before we move on to the demo, okay, is on evaluation and improvement. Okay, so this part is when we plan, because remember we are at the planning stage. Okay, so when we plan to evaluate, what are the things that you want to evaluate and then further improve it. Okay, so as the researchers stated here, evaluation is essential and should cover at least two important areas, which are cost effectiveness and cost efficiency. Okay, so whether how effective the cost materials that we prepare and how efficient it is. Okay, so if you have attended Prof. Mira's talk before this, she provided and shared her own survey for the cost effectiveness, and you can import it to your own course iTa'LeEM so that you don't have to build it from scratch. Okay, so I will show it to you uh, how I adopted her survey. Okay, but since it is towards the end of the semester, so I didn't use it yet. It's just on the planning stage. Okay. So another big says that a constructive alignment between the learning objectives and the method of delivery and assessment is important in evaluation. Okay, that we need to know whether we actually align with the course objectives and whatever method and delivery and assessment that we have. In the end, are they aligned with the learning outcomes? Okay, so that is also important. Okay, so okay, so we finish with the planning part. That means those are the things that I think we can uh, think of when we want to plan, okay, your our content. Okay, so when we move on to the second phase, imagine now that you have planned, you have prepared your materials, and now you want to execute it. Okay, so we want to use the content that we prepared. Okay, okay, so think about whether you have clear instructions to avoid confusion, or you can still the instruction is still ambiguous or not clear. Okay, so try to provide as clear as you can. Okay, because we want to reduce any confusion. Okay, and then think about what are the relevant activities to support the teaching and learning. Okay, so if you have the topic, what would be the relevant activities that you want to support? Okay, maybe you want to have class activities, physical class activities, but you want them to prepare in advance before the class activities. So what are the materials? So you can prepare it and then use it in the class later on. Or maybe you have some materials that you want them to submit later on after they have executed any task, then you want them to submit the outcome through the submission. So you can use it in the execution. Okay. And finally, we have the feedback, okay, and improvement. Okay. So the third stage is where you gather the feedback. So as I said just now, in planning, we already think about what are the things that we want to ask and prepare all the surveys or any reflections that you want them to fill in. So we prepare them at the planning stage. So after we execute, then we get the feedback. So we analyze the feedback and then use that to improve our content. If students say that um, okay, for example, um, I used to structure my quizzes um, in based on the lesson. Okay, that means if quiz one covers top lesson 1 and 2, so I will put the quiz in lesson 2. Okay, if quiz 2 covers lesson 3 and 4, so I'll put it in quiz 4, in lesson 4. But from the feedback, students say that sometimes it's hard for them to find the quiz. And then even they suggested to have a separate section for the quiz only. So after some thought, I think that can be useful. And then I use it to restructure the content so that I have a separate section for quizzes. Okay, so every time they have a quiz, they will directly go to that section, and they don't have to find in the respective topic. So that is kind of an example how I use the feedback from students to improve my structure. Okay, so when we gather feedback, okay, so we can think about what is the best way to get their feedback. Okay, and if it is um like an open-ended question, will it take too much time for you to analyze? Okay, think about what is the best way that you can compile their feedback. Okay, and think of it as the source of your potential improvement. Okay, some of the feedback might not be relevant, some might be good for you to adopt. Okay, so you can think of it as improvement for your future. Okay, the second one is when you get the feedback, you continuously update based on your constraints. Okay, because you know that sometimes you're free, sometimes you may not be free. So there are times that you can have a free time that you can work on this improvement. Okay, maybe you want to change certain things. Before this, you use other feature, then you want to try to use another feature. Okay, you can try it and use it. Okay, and you can also look and analyze at the historical data that you have in iTa'LeEM. Like if you have tracking progress, you can have a look at their you can have a look and analyze if there is any areas that you can improve, or you think that they are struggling with. Okay, so you can learn from the data, okay, to improve. Okay, all right. Okay, so basically we have looked into the designing part and also on evaluation and improvement. Now we want to move on to the demo. Any question before we move on? Okay, so before we look at the demo, uh, in the first reflection at the mentee just now, um, there is a feedback um, on improving their iTa'LeEM, right? Okay, in terms of um, the maybe we say the look and the feel. Okay, so if you observe around the current generation, they are surrounded by visual content in their everyday life. Okay, be it in social media, commercials on the TV. Okay, so everything is visually appealing. Okay, so if we want to attract their engagement, okay, it has to be more beyond text. Okay, it cannot be just text. Okay, so what are the advantages of using visuals in learning, in e-learning especially? Okay, so this is the some of the benefits. Okay, stick in long-term memory. They say that it can transmit messages faster, can improve comprehension, can also trigger emotions, and also can motivate learners. And but if you use it incorrectly, it can deter the learners. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, but it's not just about the content. Okay, so if after we have prepared everything and we have prepared our video and everything, even the most informative books or movies can be dull if they are not engaging. Okay, so that is another thing that we need to also consider. And the best content in the world would not make an impact if it is a struggle to digest. So those are some of the things that we need to ponder. Okay. So the real issue here is not being about the content itself only, but it is the way it is being presented. Okay, so that means although you have all the materials, you have to also consider the way it is being presented. Okay, so including the structure, okay, the navigation, okay, are they logically organized? Okay, so think about the you think that it should be structured like this, but in the end you realize that, oh, actually it's better to be organized in another way. So that is we say it's great satisfaction in finding exactly what you need without any hassle. So that is one of the aims that we want to achieve when we prepare our content. Okay, so so let's break and look at the iTa'LeEM now. Okay, any question from the floor? Oh, okay, we have more responses. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at the mm, okay. So am I sharing my iTa'LeEM right now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, before we look into this we say sample, okay, I would like to clarify that I have a course that is shared and I have a course that I'm teaching alone. Okay. So in my personal experience, I believe that if you are managing less than two or less, okay, of the same course in iTa'LeEM, it is still feasible and doable if you manage it separately. But if you teach the same course for more than two sections, say three and above for the same course, uh, it will be much better if you merge them. Okay, so in my case, I have a course. This course has 6 sections. So we have I taught 3 sections and the other lecturer taught the other 3 sections. Okay, but after some bad experience in the past, so I merged this course, and this merging we cannot do it ourselves. We have to inform the iTa'LeEM support to merge the courses. Okay, so I have this one. Okay, the first one is we call it as general or generic course for the same course. Okay, this one is the merge course. Okay, and this one is the course that I'm teaching on my own. Okay, so the first one, okay, this one has over 177 students. Okay, so I manage this for the other lecturer. Okay, so that means this is a centralized course for all the 6 sections. Okay, and And in fact, we can manage everything in one iTa'LeEM with grouping and the group feature. But sorry, but in the end, we decided to um, to use a separate iTa'LeEM for our own assessments. Okay. So in here, see that this is the generic one. That means all students who are taking the same course will be viewing the same item. Okay. So we have the introduction, the announcement, then we have the assignment. So assignment is actually in the respective courses. This is just the template. Okay. So I have used another third party tool, which is Genially. Okay, and if you have used Genially before, you can also embed it to your posting. Okay, so by having this Genially, actually I can have links to my other sections. This is to increase the navigation thing. Okay, remember we complained about it's hard for us to get to what we want as easy as possible. One way is to go to this navigation on the left. Okay, so this is done by iTa'LeEM. So you can navigate through this navigation section on the left. Okay, so if we don't navigate through this, we can navigate through this through this. Okay, you can also navigate or through this, or you can navigate through this. So this is giving flexibility to the students on how you can improve the navigation. Okay, so this link is actually prepared outside from iTa'LeEM. So you can see if you press this here, show interaction elements. Okay, so you can know what are the links. It has actually 2 pages here. You can have multiple pages, in fact. So let's say you want to go to the link here, okay, because it actually linked to the next one, okay. And here, okay, the link is the anchor is around here, so it is going to here. And I made it a case that when you and this one I explained it during the first class, okay, so that they know what is the picture. So if they click uh, the the header, it will go back to here. Okay, but as I said, um, I think I used the zoom feature. Okay, so you can they can go through the lesson and come back to here. Okay, with minimal effort to navigate. That is the main purpose. Okay. So you have all the topics. So remember that this is a generic course. Okay. So when it is generic course, all the lessons and slides are here. Okay. So uh, if you look into the features, that I mentioned just now, here, the features. Okay. So I'm using these features, number 13, a lesson, or here I'm using this feature, okay, for all the lesson. Okay, so this lesson, when I say lesson, how does it look like? For those who have never used a lesson before, and when I attended the content creator certification, we have to prepare our materials to be presented to the committee. And I saw that other universities as well, not yeah, and they are not from IT faculty, and they also use this lesson feature. That means either they are expected to use it or they have also been trained to use it. So, but in my case, I just um, explore it myself. Okay, so a lesson can help us to organize the content in a more structured manner. Okay, so for example, I have lesson 1. So I have all the introduction to lesson 1. And actually for this lesson, I have an infographic next to it to watch the video first. Then check the understanding. This is the self-reflection question. And then answer the questions. So if you answer them, actually I can penalize them to say if it is not correct, they have to go back to watch the video. But I change the structure to make it complete. Okay, as long as they have, you can even set as long as they have watched it for how many minutes. Okay, some of um the people that I know, they set the video to be watched for certain minutes. Okay, let's say your video is um let's say your video is 20 minutes. You want them to watch minimum 20 minutes. That means you want them to watch 20 minutes. Then only they can be considered as completed. Okay. But in my case, I don't have that restriction because I have other options for them to watch video, not only through this. Okay. So uh, in the introduction, okay, this is where I will introduce that in this topic, actually, there are two parts, okay? So if you want to watch the first one, okay, so this will be the first part, okay? And in here, I I put the learning outcomes for this lesson. So that means after they have watched the video, these are the learning outcomes that they should be able to explain what is software, list and classify types of software applications, explain why software changed, and elaborate characteristics of cloud computing, web application, software product lines, mobile applications. So that is the learning outcome for this topic. Okay. So as you can see, this one, I can have it as a H5P if I want. But the problem is, as I said, H5P is quite tedious to prepare when you want to prepare the questions on it. So I decided to have questions on at puzzle instead. So when the student play this video, it's actually hosted on at puzzle. Okay. So by doing that, what can I gain? By doing that, one, I can include the questions on the video. Okay. And it can be graded if you want. It can be graded if you want. Okay. And then you can also see the log. Okay. How long they watch it, which can also be done in H5P. Okay. So you can see the log, how long they watch it. That is important if you want to monitor. Okay. But I monitored them in the first 2 years. After that, after a talk from, I think, one of the speakers from UTM, she said that it should be the responsibility of the students to watch the videos that have been prepared. So I did not really monitor the law anymore. Okay, because it is a tedious task to do. Okay, so when they play, actually, it will play the video in at puzzle, but it can be designed in other ways. If you have YouTube as well, you can use YouTube here, but the problem is you cannot have questions on the YouTube, but you can embed YouTube in H5P and then add questions on it. Okay, and then you can have the self check, the check my understanding, which is the question. Okay, for example, which is not part of software definition. Okay, so let's say the answer this one, submit. Okay, that it will say response is correct. Okay, then when you continue, this is the way it is designed, that if it is completed, it will move to the second part. So this will be the second part. Okay, so the video, you can have it here, or you can also see the navigation on the right here. Okay, the student can navigate back to the lesson one through here, or they can navigate through the button that you prepared for them here. Okay, so let's say you want to see the reports. So this is in lesson. Okay, for those who have used lessons before, share with me if there is any concerns or any issues with lessons. Okay. So the report, see that this is an example of how you can view the report of a student. See, this is not completed. Okay, sometimes the tracking, because some students they say they have watched it at a certain percentage, but it was not captured, and those are some of the issues. Okay, so we cannot really rely 100% on this. Okay, for example, this student 100%. I mean, although the video is not that long, but this one takes 2 hours according to the log. Okay, so that means even though they said 10 hours, you cannot really know whether they actually watch it or not, right? Unless through app puzzle, they have to interact and then you can keep track on the questions that they answer. Okay. So I see that some students they may not watch it the full time. Okay, once they watch it, maybe they just watch it in a few minutes, then they come back again and try to continue the attempt. So see that until the end only they finish the attempt. Okay. So you can if you want to analyze and then I didn't use this as an assessment or it's not graded. Okay, so even if they got it correctly or not, that is not graded. Okay, so you can see and analyze from here. Okay, um, uh, what else? Okay, so if you want to see this is the design part behind the scene. Okay, behind the scene. Okay, what we need to prepare. So this is the lesson. Okay, and that means I have the content, I have the content, I have the cluster. This is for branching. Okay, so branching that means these are the questions that I prepare. So each lesson there are randomized questions at the end. Okay, so the first part, after the first part, this is the cluster. You have the three. One of the questions will be appeared. If you get it correctly, it will go to the next one. It will end. But if you don't get it correctly, it will display another question. Okay, so you can design it that way. You can even design it if they don't get the question correctly, they will go back to the first lesson to watch it back. You can also design it that way. But thinking about flexibility, then I don't really want to enforce that. Okay. So if you go to the second content, that means the first content, okay, this is the first one, the second one, okay. After finishing this, it will go to the next cluster, this one. So it will appear either one of these questions, okay. So if it is correct, it will end the lesson. That's the design behind the lesson that I shared just now, okay. And if the student come and watch it after they have watched the first time or in the middle of they haven't finished the first attempt, they come back, this is what they see. You have seen more than one page of the lesson already. Do you want to start the last page you saw or you want to start again? If they say yes, then it will go back to the lesson that they stopped. So this is also an advantage. But how accurate it is, I never study, okay, whether they actually stop at the correct page. Okay. So if you say no, it will go back to the first part. Okay. So any question on this? I know that maybe some of you have already used it, but I think it is a good way to structure your lesson. Okay. So this is,
Doctor,
yes.
uh, there is a question from the chat that asking whether you can access the tracking progress.
Yeah.
How
Access tracking progress. Okay. So you go to the top. Okay. The edit setting. Edit setting. This is the first thing that you have to do at the beginning of the semester. Okay. Choose completion tracking. It must be enabled. This one must be enabled because by default it is not enabled. Okay. Once you say yes and then save, then only anything that you track, anything that can be tracked will be tracked. Okay, so that is it. If, for example, let's say in my lesson just now, what do I use it for? Okay, so say turn on. Okay, what do I use the tracking for? Okay, for example, we say lesson one just now. Okay. Um, no. Okay. Let's say I want to start again. Okay. This report. Okay. This can only be seen, okay, if you have enabled the tracking just now. Okay. So once you enable that, then you can see the detailed statistics for each. If you want to see for each participant what have they done, you can also use the detailed one. If not, just refer to this. And you see that in here, I said that if if this lesson is completed, then you will be issued with a badge. Okay, so check at your profile. So if they have completed 100%, then they will get the badge. But even the badge does not really mean that they have correctly, they have watched the thing. It's just they have completed the video. Okay, so that is um, how, okay, or you can see here. If you want to see the badge, okay, so let's say lesson one. Okay, lesson one. Okay, so you can see the recipients. Okay, so 66 students received this. Okay, so see where is the batch? Here. Let's say you want to see this this batch is given to this particular student because he has completed lesson one based on the tracking just now. Because we can issue this if we have the tracking, and then the tracking is based on the lesson just now. Okay, so there are many other purposes that you can use for tracking. Okay, so I think they can see it on their profile. The student themselves, they can see, and these are coming from the tracking as well. Okay, because this is from my course. Okay, so but it is not really accurate. Okay, because you have to really, if you want it to be working 100%, then you have to put extra effort to check that all the tracking is actually done. Okay, any other question for the lesson? Okay.
The video just now,
Mm,
uh, using the add puzzle, how
mm.
do you embed it? Um,
Okay.
do you have to create it in add puzzle website first?
Yeah. Okay. Let me show you how I embed it. Okay. This is lesson one. Um, the same lesson one. Okay. This when you embed a puzzle, it does not mean that you have to use lesson. You can use page as well. Okay. So let's look at puzzle. Yeah. This is my add puzzle. Okay. Now, um, I actually it's not compulsory for them to go through the lesson. It's not compulsory for them to go to that lesson because the way we design it is that they have flexibility. They have three ways in order to get the basic knowledge for each of the lesson. Okay, one of the ways is this lesson. Okay, so how does it work? Okay, the easiest one is that you have to have them in the in the class because you want them to report. And if it is not linked to your group, okay, then it's very hard to detect actually if they register, okay, this Aiman, who is this Aiman? Because it's not our official database, right? Like iTa'LeEM, it is our official database. So if we say Aiman, we know Aiman what's the metric number, which section. And now since we actually integrate and use the centralized iTa'LeEM, it's difficult to differentiate which section, which metric number, and when, even if we say make it compulsory for them to register using metric number and all, still there will be students who did not do that. So the best way is to have it imported from Google Classroom. Then you manually, this one will be automatically imported. Okay, so Google Classroom is just a temporary like jump to add puzzle. Okay, that is the easiest way to do. So in this assignment, let's say we say lesson one, let's say lesson one, okay? So this is the lesson, okay? So you say that you click on the item here, say share assignment, okay? So here the assignment link, you can use a URL to copy the link. Okay, if you use URL, you copy this and paste it to your iTa'LeEM. That is one way. But if you want to embed, you use this code. Okay, so you can choose either small, medium, or large. So let's say I just choose medium, so I copy this code. Okay, so when you go to this part, let's say, okay, remember we have the resources and we have the activities. If this is, if you want, this, the simplest way is to have a page. Okay, so if you have a page, okay, so you say demo, demo embed puzzle, and add puzzle, add puzzle. Okay. So the description, okay, the content, okay, this is the part where you want to embed. Now, anything that you want to embed that is using any HTML code, you use this additional feature, this one, the script logo. So, or you want to embed a H5P, this is where you do it. But this one is to use the code. So now you can see when you press it, then the code becomes in HTML code. Okay, you can either delete it or you can continue. Then you just paste the one that is from the app puzzle just now, right? So if you want it to be, let's say, you want the completion to be tracked, okay, you say show activities. Student must view this activity to complete it. You can have the due date or not, okay? So if you enable, then it will be tracked based on this date. If not, then just say student must view. Okay. By default, if you don't say, they will say it will be manually marked. This will make some students will not mark, some students mark. So it's the completion rate is not really accurate. So now you can save and display. Okay. So that is if this is medium. Okay, but if you want it to be large, so you just large, or the difference is, you know, is 590 and 475. So we can edit it here directly if you want. Okay, so you go back to the script just now, so you can modify 590, 400, what, you know, 70. Okay, so it can be something like that. So it becomes bigger. Okay. So now when you play, it will actually play the video from the app puzzle just now. Okay. So this is the easiest way. Or if you want to embed it, link, copy link here. That will not be that interesting, okay, because say you can, instead of having a page, now we enter resources, we use the URL. Okay, add puzzle lesson one. Okay, for example here. Okay, so we can also have the activity completion. Okay, okay, so this is what the student will see. So that's the difference. If you have it as okay, think about which one is engaging. You want them to be in the lesson, you want them to be in a page, or you want to be in the URL. Maybe at first, okay, you don't have time, okay, you can start with a URL. Okay, next time you can, when you have free time, then you want to use this one, the page instead of URL. Okay, that one. Okay, and if because what is the advantage? You say, oh, it's the same. It's in puzzle anyway. So why don't you just ask your student to access at puzzle? The problem is when you set in a puzzle, student will, there is no like page or anything here. Student does not know which one to watch first. It will be like this list. So if you have like many parts or multiple parts, okay, and do they know which lesson they are now? Okay, so they have to like go through and watch by themselves. But if you organize them through iTa'LeEM, they know, okay, this week, okay, you go to edit, you put highlight. So that means my highlight is always okay. That means when students watch it, they know this is the current week right now. Okay, so this is the week that they should focus on. Okay, anything else that you want to know about lesson, page, or URL?
The add puzzle that you are using, is it
Mm-hmm.
a free version or?
Yeah, I think it's a free version, but maybe it has been in uh here is the this IUM thing. It
Oh,
is linked to because everyone is who is using a puzzle who is registered to the same school, they are, I think, linked together, something like that. But one more thing. When you talk about the pre-version and all, okay, at first I didn't realize that I keep on hosting my video here. Then I have the storage limitation, right? But now all the hosting is not here. Actually, it's hosted in YouTube. So that means only the link are here. The original video or source is in YouTube. That's how it does not have any limitation of the hosting or the storage. Okay. So although I have the videos here, but the videos are hosted, and bear in mind that these videos is not, I don't produce all the videos myself because we are from COVID, starting from COVID, we assign each one of us to prepare some lessons, some topics, some chapters. Then we move on from there. So if we think we want to replace it, then we will replace the video and create a new one. So the original lecturers, we are four of us, then three of us, then only two of us. Okay, so that we evolve from that. Okay, and some of the videos, we cannot change it because let's say that is done by my colleague. Okay, so the original source is in my colleague's account. Okay, all right, unless I make a new one.
but the video you mentioned just now
Mm-hmm.
is linked to the YouTube. Then
Yeah.
why not just link directly embed the YouTube video
Okay.
instead of that one?
Okay. So why don't I do that? Why I decide not to do that? Okay, at the beginning, my main aim is to track how long they watch the video. Okay. Because if you see, okay, let's say, let's choose the most, because I didn't share that what are our other alternatives other than this. Okay, see that from here, okay, this we can see okay, the log here. Okay, because during COVID, everyone must watch this 100%, then only they get the attendance. So it's quite hard to detect everyone's attendance just to make sure that everyone watch it. Okay, so this cannot be done through YouTube. Okay, but it can be done if that YouTube is embedded to H5P, that you can do that. Okay, so I think Prof. Mira once mentioned that to me, that you can do that through a H5P. But at that time we already started with a puzzle, and we try to edit the H5P with questions. It's quite tedious to do that. So we directly stay with this option. That's why we decided to stick with this. Okay, see that we can see the log. Okay, and we can see that okay, this they don't finish it. Okay.
Okay, that's actually answering my other question, which is how you track the number of watch time.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
yeah.
But as I said, eventually it's better to make them aware how important it is for them to get the foundation, the basic concept through the lecture. Because in the face-to-face class, we're gonna do class activities, and when they don't have the foundations in the class activities, um there will be less participating in the group activity because they don't have the knowledge. For example, we have the calculation exercise. We have them to do exercise calculation, but the foundation is provided in the video. So when in the class, they cannot perform, they cannot do because we know that they have not watched it. They don't at least go through the video first beforehand. Or if they have group activities, we can see only a few of them, but um, participating or contributed because the others they haven't watched it. And if we want to know the log, I think it will be if you haven't started anything, it's better to go for a puzzle and monitor if you want. Okay, so that is my opinion right now. Okay.
But there is another question from the chat here. Do the students required to log into iTa'LeEM and Edpuzzle at the same time, or just through iTa'LeEM that they can
Yeah,
watch?
actually, for your information, I set up everything during the first week. That means they must be in this Edpuzzle group. They must be in the Edpuzzle group during the first week. Okay, so that we don't have to handle, and they have to try out their videos whether they can view and the video is played or not during the first week. Okay, so if not, we have to help to settle that because I don't want them to access Edpuzzle at all. The Edpuzzle is for me to monitor their log if I want. But for them, they are not required to go to Edpuzzle. They are only required to go to the iTa'LeEM. The only platform that they have to use is iTa'LeEM in addition to, a few things. Okay. So I mentioned just now that this is not compulsory. That means if they want to watch video, lectures, and slides, okay, there are three options. One, this one from the lesson. Okay. But some students prefer to use lessons because they like the structure. Okay. But some students who does not like this structure, they can go directly to all the videos. So there is here I have the um, links to all video lectures. Okay. So for those who does not want to go through all the lesson and think, they just go to this. So even though in the puzzle it says 0, they might go from here directly to YouTube because these are unlisted videos. If you go to video YouTube, you cannot find the videos, yeah, unless you have the link. Okay, so these videos they are here. So if they don't want to be hassle and they think it is a lot for them, so they will just come here. So that's the kind of flexibility that we have. Okay, but in addition to this, which I don't actually I don't plan to mention it. Okay. I also have an app that I developed for them. Okay. So that app, this one, I call it ISE course app. Okay, is viewable in the mobile version. So if they watch it from their mobile phone, everything is there on top of Moodle. Okay. If they go for Moodle, it will look like iTa'LeEM. Okay, but this one is only for all the lesson. Okay, so that means they can just directly choose the first if this is also viewable on their phone. Okay, so they just watch this video, get the slide here, watch this video, get slides here. Okay, so this is another option. So we say that we are making it flexible for them. If they cannot go through iTa'LeEM lesson, which is the recommended one, will be of course the lesson. Okay, because we spend a lot of I spend a lot of time to prepare that. But if they are reluctant, they can go for the second option, which is the list of all the videos. And if they are too lazy, they can even watch it before sleep, okay, using the mobile app version, which is direct link to all the videos, which is structured for them to go about. Okay. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So for all lesson, there will be the slides. So this is the file. Okay, remember in the resources just now we have the page, file, and so on. So the slides is in file. So these are the files. Okay. So oops. Or you can download it, or you can use the tab and sketch on it. Okay. So the structure is the same. So first we have the banner. Okay. Then we have the lesson, we have the slides, and then okay, then it comes to the activity, because remember that this is a shared, this is a generic course, right? So let's have a look at the other section that I combined. Okay, this one. So this is the part where I say blended learning that is tracked. Okay, so you see the minimum requirement. Okay, so in here it has similar structure, but here I have the attendance. Okay, I don't track attendance in the generic section. Okay, so the project. Okay, I don't have project in the generic section. Okay, this the yellow thing. If you observe, okay, this yellow thing is made from the label. You remember we have the slide just now. This one. So we have file page label. So that yellow thing is made of label. Okay. Remember what is the purpose? To, let's say, have a structure. So instead of having a long list, we can have you can use the label. So this is one of the reason or purpose that you can use labels. Okay. So you can use label if you have, let's say, assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3. Okay, this one is also embedded from GNLE. Okay, so I have embedded demo or briefing of the tutorial. Okay, so say this is assignment, right? So the project, I want to show the board just now. Project presentation. Okay, so this is the board that I showed just now. So you have the section 1, section 2, section 3. Okay, so now we don't have to use Padlet anymore. Okay, although Padlet to me is quite useful, especially when you want to have exercises in class. Everyone can submit their take pictures, snap picture, put it in Padlet. Then we can show it in the class, and then we can give feedback so that everyone can learn from everyone else's work. So we can use that Padlet. Okay. So in here, all groups can submit their slide, which is hosted on the YouTube. Okay. So this is one of the ways. Okay. So I think this is the use of bot is very convenient, because we can replace the use of Padlet, which is an external tool, right? What else? Use of what? Okay, assignments. As I said, assignment is more on assessment, right? But I want to just show if you use this feature, the rubric feature. Okay. So you can use rubric feature to for grading and put your feedback here. Okay. And you can also annotate your assignments. Okay. Write here. Okay. For example, you can write your comments in something there so that they can go through your feedback. Okay. So that is on the assignment. Okay. What else do we have? Okay, for quiz. So here I have a quiz section. Okay. Quiz section, remember, because this is three sections together. So I have to handle them with groupings for different sections, different groupings, sometimes quiz different times. So I have to give restriction based on time. Okay. So these are assessment. Now I want to show the part that I use pages. Okay, for example, if I don't use page, then it might be cluttered, right? So I can use a page where I can have this. So now what you're seeing is a page. So I can have link a URL to other, let's say, Google, for example. Okay. So I can have it here so that they can review. Okay. So that is okay. Or one more thing that I think you can also use is for the peer review. Okay, last one for, let's say, assignment. Okay, so okay, after the assignment, everyone will have to do peer review, because in my learning outcomes, one of it is to have students to participate or to work with their team members. So this will be taken as the evidence for the teamwork or peer or collaboration among the team members. So you use the workshop feature. So this workshop feature is there so that we can use it, and each one of them will give marks to each other team members, and then the system will calculate the final values, and then you can use it, okay, for the assessment criteria, right? So I want to conclude, okay, um, for my part. um, I want to say that creating the e-learning content is an ongoing journey. So it's not a one-time job, okay? So from time to time, we have to further improve it, to get the feedback, and then match with the needs of our learners, okay? And think of all the time and effort that we put is never going to be wasted, because we actually learn and then further improve our own knowledge, skill, etc. Okay. But as we reflect on our own e-learning strategy, consider these things. Okay. Are we truly engaging our students' needs? Okay. Next question is, how can we incorporate students' feedback to enhance their own learning experience, or the future learning experience? And how can we add more creativity and interactivity into our course design? So these are certain things that we can reflect upon. Okay. I think that is all that I prepared for the session. I think that is all from me. Okay. So thank you for the time. Okay. And thank you for listening to the training.
All right, thank you very much. Is there any question from the participants? Okay, but if there is no other question, before we wrap up, can we have a photo session? So if everyone is comfortable, can you switch on your webcam so that we can have a photo session? How do we stop this sharing?
I should stop. I should stop. Okay.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, let's have the first page. Smile. Second page. Third page. All right, so I guess it's a very interesting session that we have today. There are many things that I myself have not explored yet. Like for example, the what is it? There's the workshop board and also add puzzle, because normally I just use YouTube to just embed the video in there. But I didn't know that add puzzle you can keep track of how many minutes the students have watched the video. All right. If there, I would like to thanks Dr. Azlin for this very interesting sessions. And Alhamdulillah, that's the end of our event for today. I would like to thank again Dr. Azlin for delivering a very interesting topics. And also we would like to also thank all the participants for attending this talk, and make sure that you don't forget to fill up the evaluation form that has been provided to you, and probably will be also emailed to you. Okay, so let's end our today's event with Tasbih Kifara and Suratul As. All right, with that, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Malik and CPD. Assalamualaikum.